Stampers, I'm Sunny Sky and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're using the Get Well Soup set to make this simple and quick card. It coordinates with the Get Well Soup gift bag that I showed you in my previous video. So usually I start my cards from the top down and I put them together at the end, but this one I'm actually going to start with the base first. And this is just a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. Now with your Stampin' trimmer, you have the cutting blade and the lighter gray is the scoring blade. So we're going to score this at 4 1/4, which is the center of the cardstock. Then we'll simply turn it 90 degrees and cut it in half, and that's at the 5.5 inch measurement. So we've only had to score once, but we've prepared two card bases. Alright, and the designer series paper that we're using today, this is from that Christmas pack. You see the holly on the back, but I love that you can use the other side and do for any occasion. And when I'm putting down layers of cardstock on my cards, I usually just run a strip of snail down each of the two longest sides of the card, and I find that to work very well. Keeps it secure, but it doesn't use my cardstock up too fast. Okay, so we're just going to use a couple different size circles today, and you can use your circle punches, you can use your die cuts. These are I cut on the Big Shot. And this ivory, very vanilla piece measures about 3.5 inches around. And I'm going to just place it not in the center, but up a little bit towards the top of the card. And then because this is a very simple, quick card, I do want to add just a little specialness with some dimensionals. This layer is cherry cardstock, and of course the designer series paper is also cherry cardstock. As you can see, it's a nice bright bold color. And we're going to set this circle off center. Just going to set it to the right hand side. Okay, now I'm going to prepare the top layer, which is the greeting, and that is from the Get Well Soup, and we're just going to ink up the top portion of the stamp. On our gift bag we used the soup cup and without the greeting, and on this card we're going to use the opposite half. And so you just need to get that somewhere on this designer series paper, and I usually like to hold it down for about 5 seconds or so just to give it a good firm impression. Now I'm going to use my 2.5 inch circle punch to cut out this greeting. But this piece of paper is not that big. I cut it small because I don't need more for my circle, but I am going to need to be able to maneuver it into the punch. Sometimes that can be a little difficult if your piece of paper is smaller. So if you just add a little post-it note, it acts as a handle so you can really maneuver this well. And there is part of the soup bowl is going to show, but you just want to get the sort of the swirlies around the Get Well Soup image in there, because we're going to cover the bottom portion of this little handle here with our hole punches. This is a Crocodile, which Stampin' Up! Used to sell. A standard 1/4 inch hole punch will work, or a slightly smaller hole punch if that's what you have. Some ribbon. This is the stitched satin ribbon in black. And you're going to use about 4 or 5 inches. I'm just going to leave it actually attached to the spool while I make my knot here. It will just save a little bit of ribbon if you leave it attached while you're working with it. Then you're only wasting off of one end where you're cleaning up your knot instead of both ends. This wants to twist the other way, and that is absolutely fine. Snip that. Alright, snip that. And we're going to use dimensionals again. And our card is nearly complete. The only thing that I prepped ahead of time were those two little circles, and of course those won't take you very much time at all. Okay, there's your card. Now one more little fun thing inside. This little heart is the same heart that we put on our gift bag, and so I'm just going to attach one with a mini glue dot on the inside of the card, so when they open up the card there's an extra little something there. So that is the card for today. Thanks for joining me, and you can shop online anytime at stampinwithsky.stampinup.net.